Hello my friends, welcome to the channel. Today we are going to address Tesla demand again, because I can see that a lot of comments from people that are watching my channel are concerned that Tesla demand is going down, that the Q1 results are not what they want to be, and it's fair enough. It's fine to see that some obviously details have changed and some numbers are different. There is a cyclical market out there for all legacy car makers and for all car makers in general. So we can see that in March specifically, the sales of normal vehicles, of any type vehicles, actually went down as a total overall. However, the internal combustion engine sales went further down to a point in time when the numbers are quite low. We're going to look into those numbers, but before that we're going to address what happened with the electric vehicles, because the sales went down in some countries, but overall the EV market grew with 20% year over year. So we can see that the electric vehicles, even in the down market, are actually still performing. Welcome my friends, you are watching the Better Future Project, where we are all about spreading positivity, sharing knowledge and having a good time together. So let's start first with what is happening. Well, the sales has gone down. This has caught Elon Musk's attention, and he has obviously posted and said that he is going to personally overlook the sales. What he has found so far is few things that are very important. He likes to work with KPIs. For people that don't know what KPI means, it's key performance indicators. So Elon Musk is looking at the sales and he's saying, okay, let's see what is happening. In this country, the country has like a great infrastructure. It's a lot easier to import cars. So what happens is the logistics has delivered a lot more cars to this country. However, the demand is high, but the delivery is even higher. So, in other countries where the logistic wasn't that well performed, wasn't performing super well, like a great selling machine that it should be, the cars that are being sold was not enough to satisfy the market. So, this brings us back to the table that the logistics need to be addressed, because if you've got high demand but you don't bring enough cars, what happens is you start building some inventory into another countries. Elon Musk has spotted that, so brace for the second Q2 results. We've got 3 months. I think things will start turning around. And if we talk about numbers, Elon Musk believes that this year Tesla is going to sell around 3 million cars. So 3 million cars is a lot higher than what they've managed to sell last year. If we continue to look into the numbers, we're going to look into what is a car, what is a new vehicle, a new car sold on the market in US. So we can see that the average price of a new car with internal combustion engine is now higher than a car that is fully electric or some sort of hybrid. It really depends of which models we are talking about, but on average prices, electric vehicles now are cheaper to buy as a new vehicle in America. This means only one thing, that the mission of Tesla to accelerate the transition to renewable energy is on track. So even though cars has gone down in overall sales, we cannot forget that Tesla is on a mission, and the mission is to help accelerate the transition from petrol-based economies to renewable-based economies. I think this is the beginning of a new industrial revolution, because the AI is going to mark that moment, and FSD would be the first product that can be used as a service, as a taxi service for transportation on a global level. This means a completely new ball game. On top of that, once Elon Musk has assessed the market, he has done exactly what he said he will do in his mastermind project. He basically said into Tesla's plan that he plans to find a way to build expensive electric vehicle, then to build a cheaper version of it, and then cheaper version of it, and then cheaper version of it, because he believes that he needs to build a car that can be affordable, so the masses of people can actually turn around and buy those cars. Now, the next thing that is happening is that Elon Musk understands that this product, FSD, can be run everywhere. So he's looking now to get permits in China. So brace for the Chinese market, because I believe that FSD is coming to you guys too. Safer streets, cleaner streets, thumbs up. Now let's look into back to the global market. Bosch is specializing in producing components and parts for cars, also for electric ones. Now, according to the details they have and the plans they need to kind of set up, and they have already set up, is that they are predicting that in America till 2030, you're going to have over 50% of all new vehicles to be electric. Now, Elon Musk is addressing this by coming to us on Q1 and saying that he's going to produce a cheaper version vehicles, that means more than one model, that are going to be produced by a hybrid version of the unboxed model and the current lines that they are already operating. This is great because the vehicle price will be a lot cheaper than we think, and hopefully we're going to see a model for the price range of $25,000 to $30,000. If this happens and FSD is approved, I believe we're going to see the revolution that we have been waiting for the last 4, 5, 10 years. You guys know how long it took FSD to get as good as it's getting now, and we can see progress and updates constantly, which is what Elon Musk promised, and now this is happening. The next thing that Mr. Musk did to spur the demands and make sure that the vehicles are going out like hotcakes is to reduce the price everywhere. While people are worried about margins, this is the wrong thing to be worried. The software that comes with the car is a high profitable margin. We're talking about 80% profit. So the more cars Tesla sells, the more car Tesla sells, and the more margin is going to come in time, because for the difference between Tesla vehicles and any other vehicle with a combustion engine, with combustion engines, is that they cannot get better over time. Actually, they get worse. While this is not the case with the electric vehicles, especially the so-called smart vehicles. We have to understand that we used to have old phones, mobiles, then they became GSMs. Now we can see that they call them again mobile phones. So we are looking at this technology improvement in phones, and that's why they're also called smartphones, because they can do multiple things with within your hand. So we are talking about GPS systems gone. You've got it as an app on your phone. You want to train, you want to do some exercises, you would like to do a video on YouTube, you would like to take professional shots with your phone. So the cameras are gone, other applications are gone. All the lists that we used to write, like to-do lists and whatnot, all this can be absolutely gone, and you can use your phone. So you can imagine that the power of the phone has grown significantly over time, and now we barely see, if any at all, any other phones that are not with a touch screen, that don't have like few cameras and massive processing power. You can use it for normal conversation, for video phones and whatnot. And those phones as well get better in time. With the cars, we are going to look at the exactly same process. So we are going to be looking from cars that have normal vehicles, normal model of driving, when a driver is behind the wheel and he is responsible for the movements of the car from point A to point B. So when Elon Musk addresses the future, he says the future is smart car. So if the cars that currently are being made by legacy automakers don't improve, don't get smart, and you can't update them over the air, these cars don't have any future. On top of that, all the vehicles, mark my words, every single vehicle in the future will have to have some sort of FSD system, because the safety of the vehicle can be massively grown to the point where we know that this vehicle can even correct driver's mistakes. So if you have a superhuman vehicle out there that helps you to drive safely, then any other vehicle out there shouldn't be there at all. When we are looking at this, Elon Musk has reduced the prices, he continued to push the cars, the demand is there and is going to grow up. The 3 million target is still onto the map, which means Tesla will start accelerating the sales and they will have just 3 quarters to do so. And then he manages to overlook the logistic and to find problems within how the company was distributing cars. So while everyone is saying that the car demand for electric vehicles is going down, that is complete nonsense. The electric vehicles market is rising up in a global level, on a global level, which means that vehicle manufacturers of electric vehicles that makes those vehicles smart vehicles will be the ones that are going to be here after 5 years, after 10 years, and maybe longer. The ones that are really counting here are Tesla and BYD. Now in China we have a couple of other models that keep track on them. That's XPeng, which seems to be doing quite well, and good cars, unfortunately not yet profitable, and NIO. Now NIO is doing good cars again, not yet profitable, and for some reason they just power these crazy amounts of batteries to swap batteries. It's just like the speed of the charging of a car battery at the moment is going down. Now Tony Seba has also told us that we can expect electric vehicles that are cheaper than $11,000 in the next few years. I believe cars like that already exist, unfortunately only in China, but I am sure that those cars, those type of prices for those types of cars will come to Europe and to America as well, especially if governments don't decide to impose some import duty tax in order to protect the local markets. We're going to find out in time, of course, so stay tuned for this. And if in the future you guys think that electric vehicles don't have a demand and is going down, I've got to tell you, just stop listening to the media that is being controlled by legacy automakers. You need to go out there, you need to do your research, you need to open a website that are full with statistics made by other companies and governments, and then look into them. One of the best sources that you guys can pay attention to, if you want to, is open the insurance companies. In there you can see how many new vehicles have been insured as electric, and then you're going to see that the numbers are just going up and up and up. Now Bosch might be right that till 2030 the numbers will go as high as they say. I personally believe that Tony Seba is more familiar with exponential growth, and I believe that 2029 will be the year when Europe is going to cross 80% of all new vehicles to be electric that are going to be on the market for sale And I believe that the same number or pretty close to it will be in America too. While other legacy automakers are being slow to produce electric vehicles, Tesla is just taking the chance to continue taking market share. And don't forget one more important point of selling more cars, even if your margins are lower. There is a story between an insurance guy and Elon Musk, and the guy that was running this big, massive insurance company went to Musk, approached him, and said, Mr. Musk, I will tell you why you're going to fail. So Mr. Musk asked him, okay, sure, go on then, tell me. So the insurance guy has explained to him that there are not new model vehicles for the last 100 years that has managed to survive, because the majority of the vehicles that are being sold today are sold for a very tiny profit margin, if any at all. The reason is, if you've got out there 500 million cars, they break. So when they break and you are in a need of a part for the car, then you can do a simple shopping. And those parts now are produced by manufacturers that has produced all these millions of cars, and they sell them on a higher margin. So when we see now numbers that are coming from GM, Ford, and other legacy automakers, the numbers we see are really, really, I'll say it in a very simple way, misleading. Okay, but the first thing is that legacy automakers are saying that they have sold their cars once their car is in a dealership. This doesn't mean they have sold the car. This means their car is on a dealership. Is this car sold? We don't know. How many they can put? Probably a lot. The numbers are not out there to be shared because different dealership has different capacity and they still sell cars. So let's not put the legacy automakers still out of the equation. But what also is happening is that if people are waiting for cheaper cars or they're waiting for the interest rates to go lower, we're going to be looking into a moment of truth when actually those people are choosing to drive their older vehicles. That means you've got a GM vehicle or a Ford vehicle or another legacy automaker vehicle. And what happens is those people are actually buying more parts for cars that are getting older. If this is the case, that I think it is the case, then we're going to see a temporary blip and little growing of the revenue that the legacy automakers are making. Not because they're selling more cars, even though they can show numbers like that, because they deliver their cars to the dealership and straight away dealerships, and straight away they say we've sold that car. But no, I think a lot of parts for older vehicles are now being sold onto the market, and I can see that other people that I know are doing the same thing. Even I am waiting for slightly more affordable electric vehicle in order to purchase my very first Tesla. So if I'm looking into the vehicle that I'm currently driving, I would prefer to keep it, fix it for a while longer, maybe for another year, maybe for 2 more years, until vehicles that are more affordable are on the market so I can get myself one. I'm sure that there is other people who are doing the same thing. So the demand for electric vehicles is not going down. The demand for electric vehicles is going up. And anything else that you hear onto the media is just controlled by specific interests from companies, from CEOs, from powerful organizations, and so forward and so forward. Because you've got a lot of interests from not only the vehicle manufacturers, but from other industries, including the ones that are servicing the vehicles, and also another ones that are supporting the vehicles, like the petrol industries and countries that run petrol economies. And we know that those countries and those interests have been there for lots of years. We are talking about decades and decades and decades. So this is a new technology. It will disrupt the market, and stay tuned for the summer, because when the summer kicks in, we're going to actually see this crazy growth, and everybody will be, oh my gosh, we can't believe that Tesla is growing again. But bear in mind that some of the smartest people out there are still working into the company. You have rocket engineers that are supporting those engineers. So there is not even one company out there that can do something like that. I don't see rocket engineers and great engineers working in GM. I'm sure they have good engineers. I'm sure some of them are really, really good. But when I look into the statistics again, and I see the first two companies in the world that are the most desirable places to go to work once you finish engineering studies is either SpaceX or Tesla, and then everyone else. Thank you for watching today's episode. If you're a fan of the channel, you can contribute small monthly amounts on Patreon. This will help me to improve my content and my videos. Also, if you enjoy the channel, please subscribe, like, and of course click the notification bells so you never miss another episode. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.